before I even got to the beach. The shoes I wore for my 30k are in the shower, or in the bath, should I say? In the bath. They're getting washed. A bit of my green juice. Now, oh, look at that. That's raining over there. Look at that over there. Should I take a raincoat? Let's have a look. Oh, actually, I reckon it's okay. I think we're okay. Gamble. All right. Got our bucket. Even though we're not collecting sea glass anymore, we're still going to pick it up probably because we love it. And we're going to talk about what we're going to do with the sea glass. So good, so good. All right. We're not going to take... Actually, no, hold on. So we're not going to take the raincoat or umbrella. Oops. Oh, shivers. Oh, just found some earrings. So I always have this little plastic bag that I put my keys into. So there's some of the sea glass we've been collecting. A bag of it in there. Oh my God, that's heavy. And then I've got another bit at home. That's an interesting bit, that was a really good find. All right, let's go. Keys can go in here. Whoops. Why is my car beeping at me? Oh. It's really weird. Sometimes cars beep at you. It's very weird. We need water with us. Oh, whoops. Oh, because the keys are in my pocket. I'll get myself organised in a second. Oh, you know what I've done? Oh, where are my keys? Oh, my keys in my pocket. I haven't actually turned the car off. That's what it is. Is that what's wrong? Yeah, I didn't turn the car off. Okay, now it's right. These newfangled cars. Okay, we're good. All right, we're good. All right. So, anyone new watching this, this is southeast Queensland. This is a place called Redcliffe. Beautiful little seaside village in southeast Queensland. And we always go a little run on the beach. Not really run. We just go down here. Now the sun is supposed to be rising. It's supposed to have risen. But it's behind that cloud. What we're going to do is we're going to do a jumping for joy. Isn't it beautiful? So gorgeous. This is Queensland, Australia. Where are you? Oman? If I'm saying your name right. Okay, so just bear with me. We are going to do a jumping for joy on the beach. This is what I do when I'm down at the beach. I do it for, well, I just do it. Hello. So let's set the camera up. Okay. There you are. Got a second camera that captures it. Oh, the sun is rising a little bit. Okay. The sun is rising. It's rising, it's rising. It's rising. Hello, sunrise. Oh, how beautiful. Hi guys. Hi Sam. Hi Mr. Keem. It looks beautiful, it is, isn't it? Oh, look at that. I didn't actually think we'd see the sunrise. We did. It came out of the clouds for us. I have to take a photo of that one too. So, because I can't take a photo with the, because I'm doing a live on this, I have an old phone, iPhone 13. Actually, this is a good phone. I really like this phone. But the battery life is so bad on them now. Unfortunately, they make iPhones so that you have to buy a new phone every couple of years, which, you know, costs the price of a small car. But hey, I'm grateful, very grateful. Isn't that beautiful, guys? So I hope you enjoyed that. The sunrise on this Tuesday morning in Redcliffe in Australia. Where are you guys from? I always like to know where people are from. Like, I'm watching this on the sand in Queensland. Where are you guys? I always like to know where people are from. Hi, Anyat. You're watching the sunrise on Tuesday in Australia. I just always like to show where else. So this is the beach. It's like a seaside village called Redcliffe. It's where I live. I live 5 minutes from here. Oh wow, look at that. So guys, we might walk that away. You can look at the sunrise while I walk. So I'm Dora, by the way. How you going? I'll turn the camera around a little bit. Flip. I'm Dora. That's the sunrise. That's really what you want to see, the sunrise. So guys, my channel is about exploring, basically, chasing adventure. I'm chasing down 80 countries. That's what I plan to do in my goal of life. I've just done recently in May, country 62, which is Luxembourg, and country number 61 was Samoa. So I'm very, very grateful. I'm very grateful I get to see this if I drag myself out of bed. It's 6:43 a.m. The sun was supposed to rise at 6:34. There was a bit of a cloud in the way, so it rose a bit later. That's okay. Better late than never, hey? So if you're interested in adventure, please give me a subscribe. I just posted a video on how I went from dancing in my bedroom to Tomorrowland, and then basically a couple months later I was watching a Tomorrowland set in Ibiza by the same DJs I was watching at Tomorrowland. So Tomorrowland is like the biggest EDM dance festival in the world. It's on right now in Belgium. They just finished the first weekend on the weekend, and then weekend 2 is this weekend coming. So you can watch it live from YouTube, and I'm obsessed. I mean, I love adventure and, you know, going to new places. I love especially like hiking, but music fills my soul, and I love dance music. So yesterday morning I was up at 6 a.m. watching David Guetta, and Armin was playing at another festival down the road in Germany. All these big DJs that I actually saw in Ibiza last year. So if you're interested in that, there is a video just uploaded in my video box. It's only 5 minutes. So it's not long. So if that sounds interesting, check that out. I'm just working on my next video, which is basically talking about how Ibiza is just not a party town. There's so much more. It's actually a really beautiful island, Ibiza. So if you didn't know where Ibiza is, it's in Spain, in the Mediterranean. It's an island. It's next to Mallorca and Formentora. Yeah, Ibiza. But yeah, beautiful island, but very well known for its kind of party atmosphere. Lots of, you know, DJs and endless drinking, but it's more than that. More than that, it's a beautiful island. But of course there is DJs. So this is in Redcliffe in Australia. So we are live on my local beach. Going for a nice little walk. But I don't know, for some reason for me, sunrises just mean hope. That, well, you know, it's like if you're having a bad night, you go to bed early and you can guarantee that, well, not guarantee, not always as a sunrise, but the sun does rise. You might not be able to see it behind a cloud. But, you know, a lot of times you can see the sunrise, or maybe I'm just really lucky that I get to see the sunrise here. Oh, it's just so glorious, guys. It's always a special time. So yeah, I'm just taking you on a walk with me. We're literally walking on the sand. You can see a whole lot of other people walking here. That's a whole lot of guys, actually. It's called the man walk. So local men in the area on Tuesday and Saturday morning, I think. I know it's Tuesday morning, but there's another day in the week too. Men get together. They don't need to know each other, but they all walk together. I think they do about 5 kilometres in the morning. And, you know, they can walk just not talking, but it's for mental health. So basically, guys just supporting guys that don't know each other. I think it's beautiful, actually. Because traditionally, guys, you know, they don't make friends like women. Women, we could talk to I can talk to a shell and just make a friend. Well, the sun is so quick how the sun rises, hey. It's nearly up and going to go behind that cloud. Oh dear, guess what's happening now? It's raining. My goodness. And I said I wouldn't bring in a raincoat. Oh, I think it's probably just a bit of sun, just a little bit of a light shower. We can handle that. We can handle that. So funny, I'm wearing the exact outfit, well, not exact outfit, nearly, shirt and top. On Friday, just gone, I have been training on the beach like this most mornings and afternoons. Because on Friday, last Friday, I walked 30 kilometres or 18 miles for mental health. And it rained its ass off. I had a raincoat on, I got drenched. So this is nothing. I can walk in the rain, watching the sunrise. It's actually quite nice, actually. Now my phone shouldn't get too wet. Oh, it is kind of raining now. So they've got the local ladies there, the yoga ladies. They were doing yoga on the beach. How beautiful would that have been this morning? And the rain has interrupted them. Actually, it's one of my friends there. My friend Gabriella does yoga. Not always with these guys, but sometimes. She's not there. No. We're just going to keep on walking, guys. Doesn't matter. Hopefully it doesn't last too long. Are you guys getting wet, the screen here? Because these kind of newfangled mobile phones, they are shower-proof, so I am not concerned about it getting wrecked. I mean, if it started torrentially raining, yeah, we would run for cover and I'd probably turn the phone off. Love to know where you guys are watching from. I told you that this is southeast Queensland, a place called Redcliffe. This actual beach here is called Sutton's Beach. Oh, you can see the rain coming this way. Or is it going that way? Well, let's have a look. Let's walk backwards for a bit and see what's going to happen. Oh, who cares? It doesn't matter. We can run to one of these little huts over here if it starts raining a bit more. So I'm from Redcliffe. Where are you guys watching from? Love to know. Put it in the chat. I'm always up for a chat, so if you'd like to ask me some questions about where I'm from in Australia, Do I see kangaroos in my backyard? No, I don't see kangaroos in my backyard. But I did a live probably two lives ago on my page where I went to visit my dad in a cemetery, and they have kangaroos there. So I showed a live of the kangaroos. It was beautiful. Little joeys in the pockets, in their little pouches. So beautiful. Kangaroos are so gorgeous. But people think that it's in Australia, like kangaroos are just popping around. No, they're not. This is a built-up area, suburbia. They'll get ran over. And they do get ran over. If they sometimes find themselves from the bush into like a suburban area, they get attracted by the lights in the morning and the afternoons, like dusk, and they unfortunately get hit by a car. It's very sad. Sometimes they pop away, or mostly they get hit and they get squashed basically on a road. It's very sad. I have seen kangaroos jumping on a beach, not this beach. That's at Caloundra on the Sunshine Coast, about an hour from here. I have a live of that one too. That'll be buried though. I've done a lot of lives, guys. I take people live because then I don't have to edit, guys. I'm lazy. Oh, that's why I take a bucket. You pick up rubbish too. We don't want a poor turtle or a dolphin or fish eating plastic and then we eat the fish. Like, gross. And koalas, well, they're not on all our trees either. Koalas are even harder to find, to be honest. And, you know, that's probably the reason for that is because their habitats are getting destroyed because we're building more and more houses. And the koalas, they have to move. They're not feeling comfortable. They don't mate. They don't have more babies. They don't have more babies, and the population of koalas are less and less. Kangaroos, there's lots of kangaroos, guys. They are rampant little animals. But again, their livelihood is getting destroyed because we're building more and more houses next to where their bushland is. So they are, I'm not saying we have heaps of them, but we do have heaps of them. Oh, look, Freddo Frog. Whoa, 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 whoa. Strawberry Freddo Frog. Yum, I love those. But I did a live the other day, actually. It's terrible finding these bottle tops, guys. Water bottle tops. If you can recycle, reuse a bottle, it's the best thing you can do. I saw a koala, was having lunch the other day in this park, and then I did a live and took you for a walk around this park looking for koalas, and we did find one. It took a while. It took half an hour of walking, but we found a koala in the tree. But way, way up in the tree. They only like certain trees, eucalyptus trees, but it's only a certain eucalyptus tree. So they're very, very picky, little koalas. Hi, how you going? You're from Turkey. Hi, well, welcome. This is Redcliffe. That's the Redcliffe Surf Club. Redcliffe is in southeast Queensland. We're like 30 minutes from Brisbane in Australia. Oops. Let's save that bit of rubbish. We're not saving it, we're going to chuck it away. Because we don't want animals to eat our rubbish, especially sea animals. So we have dolphins, we have turtles in here. We do have whales, but you don't see them. They're way, way out more. Oh, there's a fair bit of rubbish down here today. Like lolly rubbish. So sad. Little bits of plastic. I picked them up because I don't want animals to eat them. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm not the only person that does this. Many people walk along the beach and pick up rubbish, which is so good to see. We're all trying to look after our little backyard environment. So, I always walk down to this rock. I give it a little kiss. If you have a look at here, it's a shape of a love heart. Can you see that? Mehmet. Am I saying that right? Mehmet. Can you see that from Turkey? That is a love heart. We call that lavender rock. Lavender rock. Some mangroves. All right, then we're going to keep on walking back. Okay, it has stopped raining. Oh, look, a button. And like, why wouldn't I pick that up? Because imagine a turtle chomping on that. Like, that's not going to be good. Turtles eat anything. There's big turtles, right? Like giant, big turtles. Like 100-year-old turtles that live out here. And when they die, they get washed up on this beach or a beach around this area. And I tell you, turtle stench is something it's disgusting. It's very, very stenchy. But a lot of turtles get, unfortunately, because there's lots of boats that go out here, like fishing boats and stuff, by accident the propeller hits them and they die. So when they get washed up, sometimes you see they've got big, flashes and cuts in them. So yeah, it's a bit sad to see. Most times you call the local authorities and they'll come and get it, because our local council are pretty good for that. They will move it on, because they don't want people gawking at a poor turtle that's died. Plus, this is a beach. On the weekend, this place is always, they have a tractor that comes through and rakes it all up and makes it all pretty. This is unusual, actually, with all the seagrass. That seagrass normally gets pushed out to that corner there. So maybe, yeah. So the good thing about seagrass, and it's so good to see, even though it doesn't look so nice on that beach, is dugongs. I don't know if you've heard of a dugong. It's like a cute whale. They call it a sea cow. It looks like a cow, but it's in the water out there. And they eat on seagrass. So seeing all the seagrass is very exciting, because it means that there's lots of food for them out there. I've never seen a sea cow. Dugong is its name. I've never seen a dugong in like the wild. My goodness, we've got lots of rubbish here today, guys. Oh, a balloon. It doesn't hurt me picking it up. I actually enjoy picking up. I find that, I'm actually doing something useful for the environment. It makes me feel good about myself. And I think, the more things we can do to make ourselves feel good, within reason, like, you don't purposely, go buy fancy shoes every day because it makes you feel good. Not that fancy shoes would make me feel good, but, what I'm saying, like, what would make me feel good? Well, going to see a DJ every night, that would make me feel good. But, I'm a realist too. You find different things that make you feel good, like going for a walk, like these guys here, the man walk. They're all walking because walking is really good for your, endorphin. It gets your endorphins moving. Seeing the sunrise for me, or sunset, is something that makes me feel good. Picking up rubbish makes me feel good. Going for a walk makes me feel good. I don't know about you guys, but I love walking. And look, I'm also thoroughly grateful for my legs and knees and all the mechanics that make me able to walk. I know not everyone has. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what is that, guys? I'm scared to touch it. What the hell is that? Oh, you know what, guys? I think that's part of an animal. Oh my God, I don't know, because it's got a thorn, like a, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's part of an animal. We're not picking that up. I don't know what that is. It could be a turtle. So I've seen baby sharks dead on the beach, like this long. So there's sharks out there too, guys. But, Sharks do belong in the water. They don't belong on earth, on land. So, you know, you do take a risk by going out there for a swim, but you take a risk going to drive your car too, and we do that every day. So, what they say, you're less likely to be bitten by a shark, more likely to have a car accident. But obviously, if you swim a lot out here, you know, you up your chances. But, you know, we drive cars every day. So, put it this way, there's been no severe, or I've not even heard of a shark attack in this area. On the island, there's an island over here. Yes, I've heard about a shark attack. And someone's died a few times over there. There's a big surfing area over there. So, unfortunately, well, poor sharks think surfers are penguins. And penguins are food for sharks, so they don't mean to munch on humans. They don't even know what a human is. They just think it's a penguin. So, you know. Actually, interesting. We have crocodiles. We don't have alligators. Alligators are completely different. Well, they're the same but different. Same but different. We have crocodiles. And they mainly live in warmer water. Well, they do live in warmer water, which is the north of Australia. So this is like, I'm southeast Queensland, so it's south east of Australia. So I'm kind of like, you'd probably say nearly the middle, somewhat the middle of Australia on the east coast. And the warmer water is up north. So Cairns, Darwin, Broome, all at the top of the country. But in my state, if you drove like, say 4 hours, you would basically, there'd be signs saying you shouldn't swim. Well, not shouldn't swim, but like just be wary because there are crocodiles. So places like Cairns, which is like a 9 hour, actually probably about 12 hour drive from me where I'm here. It's about a 2 hour flight up north. Cairns, you cannot swim on any beaches. It is Croc City. Even walking on the beach, I wouldn't even walk this close because they're out there and they can easily just get you. So if you're walking on the beach, you'd be walking up a little bit further and you'd be very vigilant because I tell you, if you have a dog, that's the other thing. If you have a dog, you don't be walking on the beach because dogs represent easy prey for crocodiles, and they will bounce out of the water and they'll run. So yeah, you never let your dog off the leash on a beach, it'll get taken. Some croc out there will be eyeing it off and waiting for the perfect moment to attack. So, but anyway, why I'm telling you about crocodiles, because this area here is just like a beautiful place to swim. I wouldn't swim in like sunrise or sunset because that's the time that sharks are definitely watching or out and about hunting for food. But through the day, yeah, I swim here. It's nice. It is winter time, so probably a little bit colder. But yeah, no crocodiles would be here, right? Because it's cold. Colder. There's no ice caps. We don't have snow here. Hey Doran, how you going? You just missed the sunrise. How are you going, mate? I am literally just talking about Australian animals as we speak. Talking about how, look at this. Some kind of animal has got killed and cut up. I reckon that's a turtle back. Look at the claw on that. I found one just a bit further down. I was a bit scared to touch it because I'm just scared to touch it. Like, I know it's not nothing alive, but poor animal. I reckon that's from a turtle. Oh, poor thing. Rest your soul. But what I was talking about is crocodiles. Crocodiles have been seen about an hour and a half north from where I am, which is not very far, right? and it's a huge swimming area. Nusa is a really popular swimming haven. They've started spotting crocodiles because crocodiles are starting to move down. Yeah, so there's a bit of a predicament at the moment. Like, do we cull crocodiles, which we've stopped culling them because there's so many crocodiles up north, because we're not culling them. We're letting them there's a rule out there. You cannot kill them. The only reason they'll kill a crocodile here in Australia is if it was just killed a person. If it killed a person, they will shoot it. But otherwise, you are not allowed to touch it. If they found a crocodile on the beach here, they wouldn't kill it. They would move it, which I guess is a good thing. Hey, Poet Tears, how you going? I'm just rambling while I walk on the beach. My big walk, I don't know if you guys knew, but I did this big walk for charity. That was on Friday. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I'm continuing on with the walk. I'm not doing lives all the time like I was when I was training, but I'm just doing a normal walk I would normally do in the mornings before work. But I'm holding the camera up and talking to random people. But the random people this morning is Doran and Poet Tears. How you going? It's interesting when people jump on. Like, sometimes I get loads of people on, and then sometimes I get lots of random people on. That makes some friends. But yeah, generally I'm just talking to myself, which is fine, because yeah, I'm walking anyway. So I'm just holding up the phone, picking up rubbish as we go along. But yeah, the crocodile thing, it's really interesting, right? I don't know, like, you guys, Poet Tears, I'm not sure where you are from. This Doran, I don't think you have crocodiles in Maui because probably the water's too warm. And that's why we don't get crocodiles. Well, actually, no, the water is warm because the crocodiles like warm water. Yeah, do you have crocodiles? You're from, Kansas? Arkansas? Kansas, Arkansas. I've never heard of that. Arkansas. Where's Arkansas? Yeah, so you're in the middle of the country? Yeah, okay, so you don't have crocodiles either. So the debate right now is, right, because up the north of Australia, there's plenty of crocodiles. It's warm up there, right? They've got big signs that say, do not swim. Do not walk on the beach with your dog because the dog will get attacked by a crocodile. And if you jump into a fresh, like a riverway, that's where they live. You're stupid. And you know, people get drunk and they do that all the time, and then they get killed. And then they will shoot the poor crocodile. So it's not the crocodile's fault in that case, is it? But there's a bit of debate right now because there's a no-shoot rule on crocodiles because we have many of them. I mean, we culled them a lot back in the day, and then we stopped culling them and said, let's let them live free, roam, which is, I like that idea. But this is the debate. Crocodiles are now coming down south, which is kind of where there's surf beaches, beautiful beaches, where Noosa is renowned for, like, it's like the Miami of America. And it's not like anything like Miami, nothing like it, but it's like ritzy. It's very small, it's boutique. You find the boutique little hotels. There is backpacker hostels there, beautiful national parks to walk in, beautiful beaches, but it's like all the fancy people go there for a holiday. So, and then of course a lot of people live there too. It's a really nice place. But crocodiles have started being seen there. No one's actually seen, as in like caught one, but they have been seen. So the debate is, if they are seen, are we going to shoot them? Because they are way down south. Like, they're 4 or 5 hours away from where they actually are sometimes seen. So they're kind of saying that they're starting to come down this way more. And if we don't have a kind of culling program, then even if my local beach here could be at threat. So, the for culling is that, well, we have lots of crocodiles. We could kill them for meat because people do eat. I've had crocodile meat before. It's very tasty. I'm not vegetarian. Very tasty. And people said, oh, well, we can make nice bags and boots out of them and, belts. So that could be that could be an industry that we actually make here in Australia, because let's face it, we're not making much in Australia anymore. Everything's made in China. But the against is that, well, they are they're just mating normally. Like, who are we to, kill them just because they are having lots of crocodile sex and having lots of babies? And because we don't shoot them, and there's nothing that, they're not a predator, not too much kills a crocodile, right? I think I've seen a video of a shark and a crocodile. I don't know who won. But crocodiles are fierce, man. When they get the big 4-metre ones, mate, they're bad. Actually, you know what? I was watching something on YouTube, as you do. An American girl in Florida, I think she was in Florida, somewhere on the coastline. She found a crocodile, an alligator, little baby alligator. It was, just left. And so it would have not have survived. So she picked it up, took it home, and she raised it. Basically had a social media following, YouTube, all the things. And here she is with this massive, big-ass alligator that grew massively. And she's sitting there, reading a book, hugging it. So she became her pet. She did have to register it. And she had it in a pool in the backyard. It was all, gated up. It was all so, above board. Like, she had it registered. But guess what happened? One day she was in the pool, cleaning the pool as she normally does, with a crocodile, and the crocodile pounced on her. Sorry, the alligator pounced on her. And she started screaming. The neighbours could see it. They're not jumping in to save her, are they? Apparently 5 minutes later, animal protection and all the people came, but she was dead. So she raised that from a little alligator. So they have these primal, animals have primal wants, I guess don't they? So, it was interesting. But anyway, so that is the predicament here. Not that they've found any crocodiles really yet, but they're talking about it. Okay, see you, Doran, mate. Oh, mate, there's no way I'd have a croc or an alligator or a wild animal, man. I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. I have chickens in my backyard. Poet Tears, what's your name? Your first name? I don't actually, I like to say, how I don't say the source, I say Doran, because I just know him as Doran. But I'm sure you have a first name. Can I call you by your first name? Sandra. Nice to meet you, Sandra. So Dora is my handle name, and most people call me Dora, but I openly tell you that is actually my nickname, or my alter ego. So Dora, is my nickname from travelling, basically. But my real name is Mutiara. So Doran sometimes calls me Mutiara. So in the chat, he'll be like, oh, hey, Mutiara, and everyone's like, who's that? So Mutiara is my real name, but people call me Mutiara. But call me Dora, it's much easier. But Doran calls me Mutiara. But anyway, so Sandra, nice to meet you. It's always nice to connect a name with a handle, because we're more than just handles, right? And we're more than just our channel. So you just missed the sunrise, actually, Sandra. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. And it was actually cloudy and misty. I love that. Anyway. But if you're interested in that, if you rewinded the video, the live at the front, you'll see that. But the crocodile thing. I don't know, it's like kangaroos also. Kangaroos actually there is a rule that, the middle of Australia, there's big properties, right? Massive big properties. And, there's farmland and all this stuff, right? So there is a rule that you can kill crocodiles. You can kill kangaroos. So you can shoot kangaroos. You have to have a license, right? But if you own a farm and you have, you're growing plants, kangaroos come in, their big feet, jump all over your crops, eat all your crops. They go through gates. They just, so they have a license that they can actually shoot kangaroos. So that's why you can actually get kangaroo meat. You can get kangaroo clothes, jackets and stuff. You can get them. Kangaroo meat is mainly for dogs. They have lots of food, yeah, pet food, kangaroo pet food. It's probably like really, what do you say? It hasn't got a lot of fat in it, so they recommend it for people like looking for lean meat. I've tried kangaroo meat. I'm not a fan, to be honest. Not a fan. But I don't know where we get crocodile meat from, because there's a rule and you can't kill crocodile. But obviously somehow we get crocodile meat. It's very rare to get. I had it up north and turn it around, okay, Sandra? So you can see the beach, not me. I'll keep on talking though, because, you know, that's what I do. I don't know how they get crocodile meat up north, but there's a place up in Cairns called the Daintree Rainforest. And it's like it's like the oldest rainforest in the world, like millions of years old. And it is spectacular. It's a place I've been twice actually. I went on one holiday up there and we drove up there twice. I was doing a house sit. So, Sandra, you know my channel's all about adventure, and basically I'm trying to get to 80 countries. Country number 62 was Luxembourg back in May. I don't know what country number 63 will be yet, but you know, I'm at home. I can't always be travelling. I love home too. So I live in southeast Queensland, a place called Redcliffe. It's a little suburbia. It's a little peninsula actually. It's like a little island, kind of fake island. We have a big island out here called Moreton Island. It's a beautiful island. So we're kind of protected here. It's a bay. It's called Moreton Bay. Back in the day, this was a place plentiful with whales, but they were able to kill whales, and so there's less whales here now, unfortunately. But when they were killing whales, we had lots of sharks, because the sharks were smart and they knew the blood was there and all the guts and everything. So we have too many sharks now in this little area. So yeah, there was no way that you would get me swimming right out there. I mean, I swim here, no problems. But yeah, I would never swim across there. I've been on boats out there and you can see sharks. Just saying. So yeah, the debate on crocodiles is definitely, it comes up every now and then when we see a sighting where they're not supposed to be. Hey Deb, how you going? So guys, Sandra, so Poet Tears, Deb is Sandra. And Sandra, Debra Warwick, is from Spring, Texas. Now, Sandra is from Arkansas. It was Kansas with AR in front of it. It was really weird. Kansas? I've never heard that before, actually. Sandra, whereabouts, what state is that in? Hey, look, guys. There's a rainbow. I've got to take a photo of that, guys. We need to get a photo of that. That is beautiful. How are you this morning, Deb? Oh, whoops. We don't want hotspot. That is gorgeous. Love, 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 love. Okay, hold on. We could get a... That would make a nice thumbnail, you know? Instead of my head on the thumbnail, a rainbow. How's that song go? Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not a singing channel, okay, guys? I just, get carried away. So beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Okay, Arkansas is the state. You know what? I have to pull up the map. I had no idea. What states are you next to, Sandra? I'm thinking it's probably mid somewhere. I don't know. Whereabouts are you? Oh, yes. So Deb is about to go to Colorado with her daughter and the family, aren't you? Or to visit your other daughter. That's going to be exciting. I'd love to go hiking in Colorado. That sounds amazing, Deb. Oh, you're in Texas, Tennessee. Wow, there you go. So Deb is in Spring, Texas. So you guys, so funny. You're like, well, you're not close together, but you're nearer together than you are near to me in Australia, put it that way. And here we are talking on a live. How cool is that? So Deb, I know you weren't feeling great the other day. Everything's okay with that? So Sandra, can I ask, do you like walking? I'm a big walker. I love hiking and walking on the beaches or in parks or rainforests, hikes and all those things. I try to do some movement once a day. Are you similar? Doran likes to go for walks on the beach. He lives in Maui, obviously. Actually, Sandra, you know Doran, don't you, the source? I'm sure that's how I met you, was from Doran's lives. You don't walk for exercise. Okay, did you have an injury? Oh, sorry, I do ask a lot of questions. I just like to get to know people that I'm talking to, but obviously you don't have to answer anything. Hello. Have you been unwell, Sandra? I'm sorry. But it sounds like you are trying to get back into daily exercise or daily movement, should I say. And it doesn't have to be walking. It can just be, like moving arms and legs. Stretching. So good for our mind and soul. I thought that's how we met, actually, Sandra. So it's really, like, I was saying to someone the other day about YouTube, and, let's face it, YouTube's a big world. It's there's so much to YouTube, right? We're all creators out here. Deb's actually not a creator. She's just a watcher. She's my dear friend. So I met Deb literally from doing these lives. Walking along the beach. I've been training for a 30 kilometre, which is 18 miles in your metrics. So 18 miles. So I walked 18 miles on last Friday, for charity, the mental health. So I'm a big advocate for mental health. I lost a girlfriend to mental health, and many people have lost someone they've loved through mental health. So anyway, so I do a lot of the charity walks, but this time around I actually I took you guys for the ride. So on my training every afternoon I was down here walking, or mornings, and I do a live, and I met Deb. You're still up, bad heart, high blood pressure, but I'm still plodding. Okay, well I'm glad you're still plodding along, Deb. So that's how I met Deb. So literally she was just flicking away on the lives and saw me walking along the beach. I think she saw the beach, not me. I mean, I'm not the attraction, it's the beach, right? So I'll turn it around. That's the attraction. So Deb, if you watch the start of this video, you'll see the sunrise. It was quite beautiful this morning. It was very cloudy, but it was really beautiful. So that's why I started doing these lives, and I made some really nice connections with people. But what's really lovely is that I've been able to get to know like handles that I follow. Like, for example, you, Sandra. I only know you as Poet Tears, and I know that you do a lot of shorts with lovely poetry and music. That's all I know about you. So now I know your name, and probably one day I'll jump on Doran's live and I'll see you on the screen. And I'll go, oh, hello, Sandra, how you going? Or you'll be on the live screen, like your face will be there, doing a chat. Because, that's one thing that Doran does really well, is like bringing community together. That's how we've met. And also like, getting people on the lives to introduce themselves, talk about their channel. It's lovely, it's great. Sandra, live streams are great because you get up close and personal about your own business. So like, for example, in the last month, I've done a lot of lives, and a lot of people that have followed me or subscribed to me have got to know me a lot better, and they've said, you know what, it was really a pleasure to, get to know me a little bit more personally. Like, obviously we're all about edits, right? I'm not going to re-edit the stuff that I don't want people to see, or I think, I look ugly or whatever it might be, right? But this is me raw. I can't filter this. This is me. I've, the wrinkles, the freckles, whatever I've got on my face, it's me. This is how I dress. This is how I walk. This is where I walk. I can't fake where I am. I'm not in Miami. I mean, I'd love to be in Cancun, but this is my local beach. So, Deb, your blood pressure is up. Okay, so you need to really chill down and rest and relax. So Deb saw my kangaroos the other day. So Deb, I will tell you about the crocodiles in a second. But I wanted to tell you about Lavender. So Sandra, Lavender is another lady, young lady actually. She's only 15, that I only met through lives. And Deb has met Lavender in the chat. And Deb's asking how Lavender is, because we've all made friends in the chat. Everyone chats in the chats, like they do in Doran's lives. It's lovely. But I'm only a little Doran, as in like I'm only a little channel, so I only have a few people, which is great. I can kind of handle getting to know you guys and asking you the questions. But Lavender, we've got to know, and she's going through breast cancer. Like we've known her as Lavender, and she's full of joy. I've named a rock here called Lavender's Rock. Another guy who comes in our little tribe, Paul D Australia, he went walking the other day and saw some rocks that looked like love hearts, and he said, "Oh, it's Lavender's Rock," and he shared that on his shorts, and it was beautiful. Deb, did you see the short that Paul did? So Lavender, literally, we just got told this week, is about to go in for surgery. So yeah, Lavender on Sunday, which was 2 days ago, told us that she's going for surgery, and say it's this week, probably sometime. So I don't know anything more. If I do a live in the morning, I never see her on the lives. She's always getting ready for school because she's only 15. But I've said that if one of her brothers or sisters can come on and send me a message, like that I somehow get a message to her so I can tell everyone. So I don't know any details, Deb. So obviously we're just, pray, send positive vibes out there that, she's going to be okay. So yeah, that's a lot for a 15-year-old. I mean, it's a lot for anyone to go through breast cancer. But yeah. So yeah. Yeah, she's only 15, Sandra. Yeah, so it's very sad. Very sad. You can't find him. Okay, next time we're on a live and Paul's there, I will get Paul to talk to you through it in the chat. I can't talk you through it because I need to write it, and I can't write it in the chat because I'm doing the live. So sorry. But yeah, next time we're on a live and Paul's there, I'll connect you somehow, okay? Actually, what I'll do, I'll find one of your comments. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, Sandra. Sorry, Deb, this is what I'll do. A comment, you're going to get a notification. When next time you go onto YouTube, you'll get a notification that Explorer Dora 80 replied to one of your comments. And in the comment, I will put a link to Paul's page, okay? And the actual short that you want to see. Then you can find his page from there. So what I was talking to Sandra and Doran about was crocodiles. So we don't have crocodiles here, right, guys? I've never showed you a crocodile. So Sandra, with the lives, I've shown Deb and, my little tribe, platypus. I don't know if you've ever heard of platypuses. They're only native to Australia, but they're amazing little animals. We went platypus chasing and we found platypus, and that was amazing, wasn't it, Deb? And then we've seen kangaroos and koalas. And at this local beach we see pelicans. Normally they're out here somewhere, but they're hiding today. So I love wildlife, but crocodiles are something that I don't show you. If we had crocodiles here, I would definitely not be walking this close to the water, mind you. So crocodiles like warm water. So we don't have alligators here in Australia. We only have crocodiles, Deb. You're right, Deb. God will be with her. And you know what? She knows that we're all rooting for her. We're all sending her, love and light and positive rays of sunlight. And we send her rainbows and all the beautiful things to, make her better. So anyway, about these crocodiles. So we don't have crocodiles down here because I'm south. Oh, here we go. We have pelican. Pelican. So we have, our water's a bit cooler than the north, obviously. I'm in kind of the centre, I'm southeast Queensland. That's why we're the east coast, south. But not down the bottom. Where Paul lives is the bottom of Australia. It's freezing cold down there, his water. There's no way a crocodile will go down there at all. They won't touch down there. But even though this water's not that cold, I don't think, but it's cold for them here too. But there's been a sighting an hour and a half, so 90 minutes north of where I live. Pretty much where, Deb, that beach I was walking for my long walk on Friday, just near there, they saw crocodile. They reckon they saw two. They didn't actually grab it or haven't got hold of it, but there's a sighting of one. So they're kind of saying that there's been quite a few sightings recently and that there's a bit of a debate on what they should do. But let's just sidetrack because we have to look at the pelican, okay? Deb, we love the pelicans. Actually, Deb, I'm going to do a live this afternoon and show you all the sea glass I've got. So Sandra, I've been collecting sea glass, like broken bottles on the beach, and I want to do some kind of mosaic to represent something for mental health because, while I've been walking for the last month on this beach, I've been picking up rubbish, but I've been picking up sea glass. So Deb's suggestion is to do a mosaic of a pelican, because most walks I see a pelican. And then on the bottom of the artwork, I'm going to put some sand. So that was Deb's suggestion, is to put real sand so the pelican is walking on sand. Because most times we see the pelican on the ground here. And I love the wobble. They do this cute little wobble. A little waddle, should I say. Waddle. So that's why that pelican's hanging around here, because the fishermen are here. So yeah, Deb, I'll do a live this afternoon. So your time, I don't know how many hours, but like about 7 hours from here. I'll do a live. And so Sandra, what I mean by sea glass is this. I picked up lots of it actually. Yes, I'd love a postcard, Deb. So that's another thing I've got to do, is I'll do a live talking about the postcards. Hey Deb, I sent you an email. Did you get my email? So you know how you put your email in the chat? I did send an email to you, but I haven't heard a response from you. Can you check your emails and check your junk mail too? So my email it'll come from exploradora@hotmail.com. God, I hope there's no telemarketers or spammers in the background and they just got my email address, and then I'll have a million emails to this address. So anyway, I did send you an email, Deb. So check out your emails. I sent it like 3 or 4 days ago. So Sandra, I'm about to do a postcard exchange. I don't know, can I ask you, Sandra, when was the last time you received a postcard? Or have you ever received a postcard? Years and years ago, yeah. So now all we're getting is bills in our, mailbox. Like, it doesn't bring us joy anymore. Back in the day, you could open the mailbox and you'd be so excited because you got a letter from your auntie or your uncle or your grandma, or, a letter from your friend or your pen friend, or a postcard from, a family member or a friend. Yeah, so we're not getting in postcards. You hardly can even buy postcards these days. You can get them, but of course they're also expensive to send now. So I love postcards, Sandra. Probably, I'll tell you a story, guys. I don't know if you heard this story, Deb. The reason why I love postcards so much is, as a young child, a young Dora, I used to get postcards from all over the world, all these fantastic places around the world, because my uncle and aunt were, they were, I guess, semi-retired, so they did lots of travels. And when they were working life, they would travel too, just like I do. I'm not, wealthy, but I make it work. I figure out a way to travel. Like, I have extra jobs. I don't travel expensively. I don't stay in high, resorts and stuff like that. I backpack. But anyway, that's another story. So young Dora used to get all these postcards from all these fantastic exotic places. And I've got this one postcard that I kept from Rio de Janeiro. It was from 1983. Now, in 1983, I don't know how old you guys are, but I just turned 50 back in May. And so in 1983, I was about 7 years old. And, I received this postcard from Rio de Janeiro. And first of all, Rio de Janeiro sounds like a really exotic name, right? I'm going to turn around, guys. So Rio de Janeiro is this very exotic kind of name. I had no idea where Rio de Janeiro was, mind you, guys. So, I would have had to pull out the encyclopedia back in the day, because, there was no internet back then, or Google. So, yeah, I looked up where Rio de Janeiro was. And you know what my uncle did? He sailed on a boat from Rio de Janeiro all the way over to, I think he travelled all the way to Brisbane or something. Oh no, Sydney or something. So it was a massive voyage on this old ship. Anyway, he was part of the crew. So he did some really amazing, adventurous things. So of course, young Dora, that rubbed off on Dora, okay? And of course, Dora is also half Indonesian, Australian. So at a young age, my parents would take me to Indonesia. So I got the travel bug very early, and I got to see different cultures, so different to my culture in Australia, that I was inquisitive. I asked questions, like I say in my chat. I ask a lot of questions because I'm curious. I'm curious of the world. I'm curious about people. I like to know people. I like to know people's stories. And then that's why I say, you don't have to answer my questions in the chat. But yeah, anyway. So that's how I started loving postcards. I used to get postcards sent by my uncle. And then when I was old enough to travel, I would send him postcards. And I would send postcards to my dad. My first proper travel was, I went to New Zealand with my best friend and my best friend's kind of brother-in-law at the time. We went to Queenstown, we went skiing. So I was about 20. And it was my first trip by myself without my family, so to speak. And it was so exciting. And I sent a postcard home to my dad, saying, "Hi, Dad." And I sent a postcard to my uncle and a few different people. And then over the years, my friends would send me postcards. I'd send them postcards. So yeah, it just became a thing. I used to love sitting down in a cafe. I've got many memories of sitting down in cafes. Like, for example, I lived in Mexico for a time being of my life. And I was on a holiday in Mexico. I was living in Mexico, but I was on a holiday from my holiday in Mexico. If that makes any sense. I was on a working holiday, but I was taking a holiday from my working holiday. I was in a place called San Cristobal in the state of Chiapas, kind of in the middle of Mexico. It's a very, very popular state. It's a very beautiful, it's a lot of places where the Mayan ruins are. Yeah. a place called Palenque is a very famous Mayan ruin. Anyway, I love adventuring. Like, you know, in my previous life, I was Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider or, you know, Lara Croft kind of thing. Or my alter ego, right? Hey, Sandra, how you going? Sandra. Hey, Sandra, how you going? Welcome to the beach this morning. This is my first walk, Sandra and Deb, and Sandra, Deb, and Susan. My first walk, officially, exercise-wise, since my big walk on Friday that you saw. And it feels good. Nothing's broken. I survived. It's hot though. So I'm just talking, Sandra, about so Susan, you were like Lara Croft too, hey? No, there was someone, there's a Sandra in the chat. So Poet Tears is Sandra. Hey, man in a van. How are you? I catch some of your lives. Sometimes when you're doing your lives, you're driving something, so you can't really see while I'm there, but I'm watching you. So guys, I don't know if anyone ever knows Man in a Van. Man in a Van is from Canada. And yeah, he lives in a van. And I think he lived, from when our conversation in the chat, you said you lived in your van for 600 and something days. So that's, you know, over 2 years. So yeah, check out Man in a Van. He's an interesting man in a van. So guys, we're just talking about how I got into postcards. And so I'm just, yeah, so Deb's saying I want a postcard, obviously. And she said she's going to send me a postcard. But Susan knows about the postcards because she's into the postcards too. So Susan's channel is High Country Homestead. And she's my fellow Australian. She's down the bottom of Australia in Victoria, in the Alpine. So I'm waving at you, Susan, because, you know, you're just down the road there, yeah, right? She's down the road and around the corner. And then we have Poet Tears. Poet Tears is Sandra, and she is from Arkansas. I don't know if I said that right. But she's in the state next to, whoa, that's a big chunk of sea glass. That's more rubbish. Let's just chuck that off the beach. You didn't want to stand on that. She's from, I think it's Arkansas, Kansas, I don't know. But yeah, she's near Tennessee and Texas. She's near Debra. So Debra Warwick is in Spring, Texas. They're just down the road from each other. They could go have a cup of coffee together. Kinda, no joking. Just like Susan and I could just go have a coffee together. It'd probably take me, all right, I reckon it'd take me 12 hours to drive to you, Susan. Yeah, you're just around the corner. Us Australians love driving. So Susan, you're talking about that when you went backpacking in Europe, you used to collect fridge magnets. Okay, cool, because they're nice and light, aren't they? I used to collect postcards, but I used to also collect, and I still do, Hard Rock Cafe pins. So Hard Rock Cafe pins are so light, like magnets. They're really light. But like magnets, they have, like, you know, you're in Miami Beach. So the Hard Rock Cafe in Miami will have a pin of like a beach. Actually, the Hard Rock Cafe pin I've got from, oh, this is pretty. That's a pretty bit of sea glass, guys. I am finished picking up my sea glass, but I'm still collecting, and So I'm going to do a live probably this afternoon, guys, to talk about the sea glass and what we're going to do with all the sea glass. But yeah, back to Hard Rock Cafe souvenirs. So I've got an Art Deco looking building, because in South Beach, Miami, a lot of the houses are Art Deco. So I've got this little pin that is Art Deco kind of building. I've got like London Bridge from London, the Eiffel Tower from obviously Paris. And what I do is I stick them on like I know you stick them on your fridge, but I stick them on a map. Though that map is not on the wall anymore at the moment. We're doing a whole lot of renovations at our house, so The map is rolled up. All the pins are all together, safely sleeping. But that's what I collect because when you're traveling, you want to carry something light. That was why postcards were so interesting to get. They were the easiest thing to, souvenir wise. You used to get lots of souvenirs, all the souvenir sellers would be selling postcards. That's how they made their money. And especially in countries like Asia that are a lot poorer, I wouldn't even need the postcards, but I'd buy them anyway just to support these young kids trying to sell postcards for pocket money. But then, mind you, back in the day, it was a lot cheaper to send postcards. If I bought a postcard here in Australia, it would cost me probably about $3 Australian, which is about $1.50 American. And to send it internationally, it's $6. So it's $3. So to send a postcard to Deb, it'll probably cost me about $5 US. And if you're going to send me a postcard to Australia, it's probably going to cost you that too. It's not cheap. Back in May for my 50th birthday, my partner Diego shouted me a trip to Samoa. So that was my country number 62. Was it 61? I'm confused. Country something. Yeah, 61. Sorry, country number 61. 62 was Luxembourg, and country number 60 was Taiwan last year. So anyway, he showed me a trip for my 50th birthday. He took me for 2 weeks in Samoa, which is in the South Pacific, over that way somewhere. I couldn't swim there, it's way too far. It was a 4-hour flight, but I bought some postcards there, and guess what? I still haven't got them. So, you can send postcards and sometimes they never ever get received because just their post system is really slow or it's not very reliable. But, these are the joys of travel. And what's really exciting, and I shared this with Susan the other day. I don't know if you were there, Deb. I don't know who's listening now. Who else is there? Rubbish. But my little niece, she's 7 years old. I always send her postcards because obviously my uncle got me into postcards. I want to get my niece into postcards. I send her postcards and this is what she says. Why did you send me a postcard? Because you can just send an email. Actually, no, she didn't say email. She said, you can just send a message. So broke my heart because this is the world that, young people are living in. Why would you send mail when you can send emails? Oh, guys, look at this. Want a pair of shorts? Okay, we're going to take that onto the beach, up on here, away from the water. So she said that to me, right? Anyway, I sent a message to my sister when she was in France with my niece. I said, hey, this is what your daughter said to me. I said, postcards is how I learnt the geography of the world by, following my uncle around, and let's face it, my niece, I travel a bit. I love to travel. And I've sent her lots of postcards and she doesn't appreciate them. I said, so can you explain, if you get her to send me a postcard, she'll experience it a little bit better. So to receive them is, so exciting, but to actually send a postcard yourself and pick it and write it, it's a different feeling. So guess what happened? She did that. She just came home a couple of days ago because I was babysitting her rats. Yuck. But anyway, she was so excited to see the rats. And she goes to me, so she calls me Bibi. So I'm half Indonesian. So in the Indonesian language, Bibi is auntie. So she calls me Bibi. Not that she can speak Indonesian and I speak Indonesian much, but it's just what she calls me. So she goes, Bibi, did you get the postcard? And I'm like, no, I haven't got a postcard. She goes, I sent you a postcard from France. I said, I haven't got it yet. I hope I get it. She'll be so disappointed if I don't get it. So yeah, anyway, I sent her one from France and she got that already just before she went on holidays to France. And I sent her one from Samoa, but I sent myself a postcard from Samoa too. I always send a postcard to myself. So my postcard said, happy 50th birthday. Remember this feeling. Remember how grateful you are. And be grateful for your health. So that was what I said to myself. And I'll send that to myself so that whenever I get that postcard, I can look it up and go, oh my God, that was what I wrote to myself on my 50th birthday. Yes, I know I'm weird. So guys, I probably haven't caught up in your chat because I've been too busy gas bagging. But anyway, let's get rid of these shorts. Because these shorts, I'm just going to leave them here. Someone might take them because they're probably really good shorts. But I'm going to get rid of this rubbish out of my bucket. That's my keys, my water, and the rest of this is rubbish. Oh, bit of a compass. It's amazing the rubbish you find, guys. So gross. A button. So some of this sea glass I'm going to chuck away because it's not any good. It's got sharp. I'm just going to wash my hands. Hey Paul, how are you going? Actually, Paul, now that you're here, so everyone, I think most people know Paul. Actually, Poet Tears. That is Sandra. Sandra, meet Paul D. Australia. He's my Australian mate, along with my mate Susan, who's my other Australian mate. Paul knows Deb from Texas. So Paul, Poet Tears is Sandra. She's from Kansas. I thought it's Kansas with AR in front of it. Kansas state. I've never heard of this state in America. But anyway, she's from Arkansas state. Poet Tears does interesting shorts. I mean, I watched her shorts. Very poetic poems with really nice music in the background. So yeah, that's my friend Sandra. I didn't actually know Sandra's name till today on the live. I said, hey, I actually don't know your name. And it's not, can't say, hey, poet, how are you? So I call her now Sandra. That's nice. So, Paul, Deb wants to know, she doesn't know your channel name. I was trying to explain to her how to find you, but it's just a bit hard with me talking. So I was just wondering, could you, in the chat, explain how to find your channel? My suggestion was that after this live, I would reply to one of her messages on my comments with one of your shorts, so she could actually find your channel. That was my easy way of doing it, but if you've got a better suggestion, can you explain to her how to find your channel? Hey, what's happened in your stomping ground, Susan? So Paul used to live where Susan lived. They don't know each other than from the YouTube world. But yeah, Paul used to live where Susan lived in the Highlands or Alps of Victoria. So that's right. Sorry, I didn't introduce Susan's page. Susan's got a really interesting page. So Sandra, if you're still listening, Susan is High Country Homestead. She does everything about homesteading. So I just watched recently one of her videos on not chucking away the eggs from her chickens, and she bakes them just a little bit so they crisp up, and then she smashes them up and she puts them back into the chicken feed because, you know, why not? It gives them good calcium. So if you're interested in homesteading, you should definitely check out Susan's page. And Paul D Australia, well, he's been my long-term mate for a while on YouTube. He posts about his travels. I'd say he's a travel explorer channel, like Dora's Explorer channel. But he lives, like I said, down south, down that way. I'm waving at him also because he's just around the corner. But around the corner from Susan. Just like, I'm being very, very sarcastic here because we're talking long distances. But Paul D, he lives on an island, on Phillip Island in Victoria. He's not completely isolated. There's a bridge that goes to the mainland, so he can get off it. But he likes to go walking, and he videotapes what he sees, and he shares it on his stories. His shorts and his videos. So he just recently went for a walk and saw these beautiful rocks that reminded us of our friend Lavender, who we were just talking about, who's going through some breast cancer challenges at the moment. And before we knew that, she was just, she's a lovely little soul that we always talk to. So we know her more than just breast cancer. She's a lovely little soul. And she named a rock. Well, I named the rock Lavender's Rock because it looks like a love heart. That she told me looked like a love heart. I've been walking past this rock, kicking it in a nice way for years. And she goes, do you know that it's a shape of a love heart? I had never noticed. So it's like one of those stop and smell the roses kind of moments. But yeah, it made me stop and smell the roses. And the rock does look like a love heart. So now she's even got Paul walking around and seeing love hearts in rocks. So I think that's a very special kind of thing. And now we all say that, that's Lavender's Rock. And then Paul goes, I saw 2 lavender rocks today. So yeah, he did a video on that. So I think that's really, really special. Especially when really we've all made friends from me doing these walks, talking about mental health. So there's something a little bit intrinsically, serendipitously in that. So Paul, this is my first walk since my walk on Friday. And I'm loving it. It's beautiful to walk on the beach and not be training for a 30-kilometre walk. Oh my gosh, so good. So Susan's had a wild night and she's surprised the power's still on. So there must have been a big storm down there. Susan, do you want to tell us what's happened? And it's amazing that you've got internet. I love how Debra calls you Sir Paul. That is so funny. So funny. Hey Paul, just on another note, have you heard from Craig in the last couple of days? I haven't heard from him, and I just wondered if you've seen him in the chat or seen him in your comments or something like that. Because, yeah, he hasn't been his happy self lately. Are still there. I had to turn off my alarm, and I think my alarm turned the whole live off. Hey guys, sorry, I have to go because it's 8 o'clock and I've got to get ready to go to work. But Paul, can you do me a favour? Can you like respond to one of his chats? I mean, one of his comments on your, probably on one of your shorts or videos, and just say how he's going. I'm going to do the same. I couldn't actually find his email address on his bio to send him an email because I know he's been struggling a little bit lately, so I just wanted to, make sure he's okay. Anyway, guys, I do have to go. I hope, Susan, everything's okay with all the stormy stuff that was happening in your place. It was hung him out. Sorry, guys, I've got to go. Otherwise, I'll be late for work and then, yeah. Anyway, guys, I've got to go. I'm thinking I'm going to do a chat this afternoon, so a live, to talk about my sea glass and all the sea glass. But I won't be walking. I'll be at home on my deck. I'll show you what's going on with my little planter pots that I planted on Sunday. That, I don't know, Paul was there. I don't know if Deb was there. Susan, you might have been there. Actually, no, Susan, you weren't there. So I did a whole live showing how I was potting up my little planter pots of, mixed lettuces and herbs. Anyway, guys, love and light. Everyone, please think of lavender. I don't know when her treatment is happening, but it's probably very soon. So if we can think of lavender, it'd be great. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Paul, enjoy your walk today. I know you'll be going for a walk. And Susan, hopefully there's not too much of a mess in your farm. See you, Deb. And hey, if you're off to Colorado, have an amazing time. And if Sandra is there still from Poet's Tears, see ya. I think I've told Susan, Sandra, Susan. But you know what I'm saying. Bye, guys.